Yeah, Papa.
Today, I wanted to talk about some healthy homemaking habits. I know that as homemakers, stay-at-home moms, homeschool mamas, wives, mothers, we need to encourage one another and sharpen one another and lift up one another. And so this video is meant to encourage, inspire, and motivate you. And I hope you'll find just that in today's video. Before I get into today's topic, I just want to explain what I'm doing today. So I currently have a house full of guests when I filmed this video. It's one of my sisters and her 4 boys. They came from the West Coast to come stay with us for a week, and we're having a great time together. And so for this morning, for breakfast, I'm making sourdough bagels, and I've shared these a few times before in my YouTube videos, and I do have this recipe up on my blog. I'll have that linked down below. But what I love about my bagel recipe is that it's the same exact recipe that I use for my bread. I just make them into bagels the following morning instead of baking the bread in a Dutch oven. I just cut it up and shape it into bagel pieces like this, and then I boil in baking soda and sugar, and then bake them and turn them into bagels. But it's just the same exact dough that I use for my sourdough bread. Same process, just different shaping at the end. Homemaking seems to be almost a lost art or skill of some other time, far, far away, long ago. But it seems like my generation, especially the millennials, it seems like we're waking up to what's happened and how we're losing all these amazing life skills that we should know. And we've just become so numb to everything, and everything is kind of done for us. And we have lost the art of homemaking and just caring for our families and cooking and baking from scratch, creating cozy atmospheres. And I am so glad to be a part of this generation that is waking up to that fact that we are losing these skills and we are not okay with it. And so many women are rising up and saying, I am going to be a part of the change. I am going to come back into my home, rediscover this art and skill of homemaking, because it truly is beautiful, and it is a God-given talent and skill to women specifically. Before us started the Industrial Revolution, where everything was bigger, faster, stronger, better, more convenient, done quicker. And with that, we got the electricity and all of the blue light exposure, the rise of AI, things being done for us, the availability of fast food, women going into the work field. And I'm not talking about the women who have to work by necessity, but I'm talking about choosing to not be at home to raise their families or homeschool their children, simply because we've been taught and conditioned by the secular world and the media that homemaking is not valuable, not even helpful or useful, and you're not contributing in any way. You're just wasting your life and not being a valuable member of society because you are at home instead of being out in the work field contributing like everyone else. But this is a lie that we as women have been fed for decades. And I believe all of these things have contributed to the large rate of unhappiness in our world. And I am happy that a lot of us women are starting to realize that true happiness is really when you are able to just live a slow, simple life. For so long, we've been told that women should work as hard as men and try to outdo your husbands. And this is actually anti-biblical. And the Bible teaches us that we are to submit to our husbands, and our husbands are to love us as Christ loves the church, and we are to serve one another. And as women, one way that we can serve and love our husbands, our children, and our home is by staying at home, homeschooling our children if that is available to you in your certain situation, being keepers of the home, taking care of all the things that need to be done around the house so that our husbands don't have to worry about it. God created our husbands to be our providers, to take care of us and our children, and we are to be the nurturers. So biblically, this is teamwork. He goes out and works hard, provides for me and our children and for the home. He makes sure that all of our needs are taken care of, and I stay at home and I care for our children, and I cook the meals from scratch and bake from scratch and just do my very best to ensure that I create a beautiful, warm, cozy environment, almost like a sanctuary for my husband to come home to from the busyness and stress of this world, where he can just come home and just be in the comforts of my presence and our children's presence, and just to be able to truly rest and relax. Because as men, they deal with a lot of stress and a lot of things that they have to worry about, because it is their job to make sure that we are cared for and provided for. And having that kind of pressure on them, that drives them to work extra hard. And so as a wife, I just have this God-given desire to make my home the most wonderful, warm, and comforting place on earth for my husband and my children. The ability to be a good homemaker and to be able to create this beautiful coziness and warmth in your home starts with being a happy homemaker. But how can you be a happy homemaker? Well, for me, I found that it starts with making the beds in the morning. The children make their own beds, I make our bed. That's already a feeling of accomplishment, and it just makes you feel more ready to face the day. Then I put on a little bit of makeup and just brush your hair. You can put a nice slicked down bun or something, like pull your hair back in a ponytail, and then dressing up at least semi-cute. Like in the spring and summer, I really love to wear dresses and skirts at home, but of course with the colder months, although I switch to pants and sweaters, you can definitely still wear skirts and dresses, just with maybe some wool tights or something like that to keep you warm. But basically doing these things to just upkeep your appearance and make sure that you feel good because you look good, it's definitely important. And it, for me personally, it really affects my performance, how well I do that day and how productive I am and just how great I feel. When I feel good about myself, I am just happier overall. So I do make sure to take care of myself, because it's just a fact that if I have oily hair and I'm dressed really sloppy, I just feel sluggish and not my best self. And that all tends to spill into my daily homemaking and the way that I feel and the way that I act and my ability to get things done. Another way that I take care of myself to ensure that I'm my best self and my happiest self is I take daily multivitamins. I use Mary Roots, and then I have just a short little exercise that I do every day. It's about 10 to 15 minutes, and I make sure to take daily walks with the kids. A lot of times my husband will join depending on what time he gets home from work, but a family walk is definitely really great for just family time and to just upkeep with your health. But definitely moving more makes me feel better overall. Another very useful and healthy homemaking habit that I do is I tidy up throughout the day as I go, and I have the kids involved in that as well. So I will not allow our home to just become a junk pile throughout the day with crumbs and wrappers and just crumpled up papers and toys everywhere. That does happen, and that's totally fine. We live here, but at a certain time, probably 3 to 4 times a day, I just go through and I have the kids clean up, and they know that if they made a mess, they should clean up right away. But if they forgot, especially the younger ones, I bring their attention to it and they take care of it. And then I just kind of tidy up as I go as well. If they're all playing outside and there's pillows everywhere, if I'm walking through, I'll just pick everything up and keep on doing what I'm doing. And I found that this has helped to relieve the mental load, because I cannot function in an environment that's really messy. And so just doing this several times throughout the day is really, really helpful to just have the household function in a healthy way where we can all thrive and be in a nice, clean environment. If you've been a homemaker, as I have for several years, you will quickly find that laundry is a big one. And for me, I've struggled to find a routine that works. No matter what I do, it seems like the laundry just piles up at one point of the week, and it's just to the sky, basically. But lately what's been working is just having all of the kids involved. So a lot of times our oldest daughter will just go into the laundry room and she will just make piles of every family member's clothing, and she'll just take it so the boys' clothes she'll just put on their bed, and her sister's clothes she'll put on her bed, and then each child, except for our little one, of course, that one I do, but each child is responsible for folding and putting away their own clothes. But that just helps so much when all the clothes are not just stacked on the laundry folding table. That really overwhelms me. And my oldest daughter stepping up and doing this has just been so helpful. And that's kind of what our routine has been, and it's been working great. Another healthy homemaking tip is to have a mental list or even a physical list. Like, I actually have things written down in a real journal. I call it our family recipe book, but it's basically a list of staple meals that my family enjoys. So I have something to go to if I'm out of ideas on what to cook for dinner or what ingredients or groceries I should buy. I just kind of go over this list, and it really helps me to always make sure that I have the kitchen flow going and that I have a plan in my head, recipes that I want to make, things that are super simple and easy, and things that my family enjoy. You will definitely find yourself on some days, as I do, where you're just out of ideas, you don't know what to cook, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated that day, and you just really don't feel like looking up any recipes or anything like that. On those days, I would advise you to just stick to what you know. Make that simple meal. Like for me, it would be chicken and rice with a salad of tomatoes and cucumbers. When I absolutely don't know what to make, I just resort to that. It's easy, it's simple, it's delicious, and I had to not really do any extra thinking and no extra stress. Crock pot meals or one pan meals are also a great option for those kind of days when you really don't know what to make and you just want to throw something together and just turn it on and leave it be. Healthy homemaking habits definitely come with this first thing that you have to get down first and foremost, and that is believing that you are valuable, your work is valuable, and that your family is worth it. If you believe these things and read your Bible and pray, then you will have no problem being a successful homemaker. And one other important thing that I do, and I encourage all women to do, is to get plugged into a church or a women's group where you can just pray for one another and encourage and uplift one another, where you can go to for encouragement. And this really helps you to really be the very best that you can be. These pumpkin cream cheese snickerdoodle cookies are an amazing option for all of the upcoming holiday parties, such as Thanksgiving and Christmas, or just to make at home for your own family. So I actually tested out two different options for these cookies, one being to roll the cream cheese inside and roll the cookie into a ball, and the other one is you can actually just leave them in how you saw them previously, how I just squished them down and put the ball of cream cheese frosting in the middle. That actually turns out really good too, so it just depends on the look that you want. Both are amazingly delicious and I like both of them. So actually at home I made some of them into the balls as I showed and demonstrated here, and then for the other ones I just left them flat with the ball of cream cheese in the middle.